In the vast tapestry of Norse and Germanic folklore, few entities are as enigmatic and misunderstood as the Jötnar, singular Jotun. Often referred to as giants in popular culture, the Jötnar are far more complex than this simplistic label suggests. While some Jötnar are indeed giant in stature, not all of them fit this description. The Jötnar are a race of beings deeply intertwined with the gods, the cosmos, and the very fabric of Norse mythology. Their origins, roles, and relationships with the gods are rich with symbolism, conflict, and cosmic significance. Today we will explore the Jötnar in detail, unraveling their true nature, their place in Norse cosmology, and their enduring legacy in mythology and modern storytelling. The word Jotun, plural Jötnar, comes from the Old Norse tun, which itself derives from the Proto-Germanic word itunas. This term is believed to mean to consume or to devour, hinting at the Jötnar's association with primal, chaotic forces. The Old English equivalent Eotun also refers to these beings, further cementing their presence across Germanic cultures. The modern English word giant has its roots in the French géant, which entered the English language after the Norman conquest of 1066. The French term, in turn, traces back to the Latin gigas, referring to the giants of Greek mythology. This linguistic connection has led to a conflation of the Jötnar with the giants of other mythologies, particularly the Greek gigantes. While there are parallels, such as their adversarial relationship with the gods, the Jötnar are distinct in their roles and characteristics. The assumption that all Jötnar are giants likely stems from this linguistic crossover, as well as the influence of later interpretations in literature and media. From the Marvel Universe to the God of War series, the Jötnar are often depicted as towering, brutish figures. However, as we will see, this portrayal only scratches the surface of their true nature. To understand the Jötnar, we must first delve into Norse cosmology. According to the myths, the universe began in a state of chaos, with two primordial realms, Muspelheim, the land of fire, and Niflheim, the land of ice. When the fires of Muspelheim met the icy rivers of Niflheim, the first being, Ymir, was born. Ymir, a Jotun, is often described as the father of all giants, but he is also the progenitor of the entire cosmos. Ymir's body became the foundation of the world. From his flesh, the earth was formed, from his oceans, from his bones, the mountains, and from his skull, the sky. This act of cosmic creation mirrors the Jötnar's dual role as both creators and destroyers. They embody the chaotic forces that precede creation and the destructive forces that lead to renewal. The first god, Buri, emerged from the ice, and his lineage would eventually include Odin, the Allfather. Odin and his brothers, Vili and Ve, slew Ymir and used his body to shape the world. This act marked the beginning of the conflict between the gods, the Æsir, and the Jötnar, a theme that recurs throughout Norse mythology. The relationship between the Jötnar and the gods is far from straightforward. While they are often portrayed as adversaries, the two groups are deeply interconnected. Many of the gods, including Odin and Thor, have Jotun ancestry. This intermingling of divine and Jotun bloodlines blurs the line between the two groups, making it difficult to categorize them as entirely separate entities. Odin, the chief of the Æsir, is the son of Bor and Bestla, a Jotun. This makes Odin half Jotun, a fact that is often overlooked in popular depictions. Odin's son, Thor, is even more closely tied to the Jötnar. Thor's mother, Jörð, Earth, is also a Jotun, making Thor three-quarters Jotun by ancestry. This irony is not lost in the myths, as Thor is one of the primary defenders of Asgard and Midgard against the Jötnar. The gods and Jötnar also intermarried, further complicating their relationship. For example, Skadi, a Jotun associated with winter and hunting, married the god Njord. Similarly, Loki, often described as a trickster god, is actually a Jotun who lives among the gods. These unions highlight the fluidity between the two groups and the difficulty of drawing clear distinctions. One of the defining characteristics of the Jötnar is their association with chaos. In Norse mythology, the Jötnar represent the untamed forces of nature and the primordial chaos that existed before the ordered cosmos. This is evident in their role in Ragnarok, the apocalyptic battle that marks the end of the world. During Ragnarok, the Jötnar, led by the fire giant Surtur, will wage war against the gods, resulting in the destruction of the world. However, this destruction is not an end, but a prelude to renewal. A new world will emerge from the ashes, and the cycle of creation and destruction will begin anew. This cyclical view of time is central to Norse mythology, and the Jötnar play a crucial role in maintaining this balance. Contrary to the popular image of the Jötnar as uniformly giant and monstrous, they are a diverse and versatile race. Some Jötnar, like Ymir and Surtur, are indeed colossal in size. Others, however, are described as beautiful or capable of shape-shifting. Loki is perhaps the most famous Jotun in Norse mythology. Known for his cunning and deceit, Loki is a master of transformation, often taking on the forms of animals or other beings. While he is not inherently evil, his actions frequently lead to chaos and conflict. Loki's role in the death of Balder, the beloved god of light, is one of the key events that sets Ragnarok in motion. Skadi is a Jotun associated with winter, mountains, and hunting. After her father, Thjaz, is killed by the gods, Skadi seeks vengeance. However, she eventually marries Njord, a god of the sea, symbolizing a temporary reconciliation between the gods and Jotnar. Skadi's story highlights the complexity of the Jotnar's relationships with the gods and their capacity for both conflict and cooperation. Surtur is a fire giant from Muspelheim who plays a pivotal role in Ragnarok. Armed with a flaming sword, Surtur will lead the charge against the gods, engulfing the world in flames. His destructive power is matched only by his symbolic significance, as he represents the fiery end of the cosmic cycle. The Jotnar have left an indelible mark on modern culture, appearing in literature, film, and video games. In the Marvel universe, the Jotnar are depicted as frost giants, with Laufey as their king and Loki as his son. While this portrayal simplifies their mythology, it has introduced a new generation to these fascinating beings. In the God of War series, the Jotnar are central to the narrative, with Kratos and Atreus embarking on a journey to scatter the ashes of Faye, a Jotun. The game explores themes of family, legacy, and the cyclical nature of time, drawing heavily from Norse mythology. The Jötnar are far more than the giants of popular imagination. They are a complex and multifaceted race, embodying the chaotic forces that shape the cosmos. Their relationships with the gods are marked by both conflict and cooperation, reflecting the duality of creation and destruction. From their origins in the primordial void to their role in Ragnarok, the Jötnar are central to Norse mythology and its enduring legacy. As we continue to explore and reinterpret these ancient stories, the Jötnar remind us of the power of myth to illuminate the human experience. Whether as giants, tricksters, or forces of nature, the Jötnar challenge us to look beyond the surface and embrace the complexity of the world around us. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Norse mythology. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments below.